Hello, and welcome to History Should Not Be a Mystery. I am your host, Randy McGill, and today's episode is called, You Are Forced to Accept These Terms and Conditions. And, this is about the, conditions in which the slaves had to endure. The main three are the three that I am touching on today are, food, living conditions, and then clothing. And we're going to be comparing them to, like, in today's world, what would they be? And so, yeah, so let's just go on and get started with all that. And hand gestures are yes. Anyways, so, I'm going to go on and start, and I just want to go on and apologize for the glare on my glasses, but, because the flash on my phone is on. So I'm going to go on and start. And, so, let's begin, shall we? So, today, back in the, times when America was a slave holding country, which I don't think any country is nowadays, but it's illegal. But here in America, as we all know, it's illegal to have slaves. So anyways, the food conditions that the slaves had to endure were 8 pounds of pork or fish. And so as you can see here on this lovely chart, I can't seem to, okay, here it is. Come on, perfectly. This little chart that I made, on a plate is, what the slaves got per month and how they had to divide it up so that way they would be able to have enough per meal throughout the entire month. So, I used the amount of months varies from obviously 30 to 28 to sometimes 29 every 4 years to 31. So, I did the basic benchmark of 30 because it was an even number in between of it all. So, as you can see here, they had 8 pounds of pork or fish. I forgot to put fish on here, but pork or fish. So, they had one of those two options. And then to divide it up between the 3 meals, I took 8 pounds and then divided it by 3, or 30. And then from then, I divided it by 3, so that way the 3 meals. So they would, yeah. So I got 0.8 pounds. So that's 8% of a pound, which is a terribly small amount. So, like, today's comparison for what that would be for a meal for that amount would be, maybe like a Lunchable, like the meat in a Lunchable or something, that every single meal for a month, like that's the only amount that you could have. And so the other thing, so yeah, and then the other thing that they were given, was, the passage that I got. Wasn't very specific about it, but, I don't know if it was per person or like for all of them, but I think it might have been just per person. So, they all got a bushel of cornmeal, and 1 bushel equals 149 cups. So essentially 149 cups divided by 30 to 30 days divided by 3 per meal would be, you got 1.65 cups of cornmeal per meal. If each slave got their own bushel. So they could make like cornbread or like make fried pork or fried fish with that, corn fried, I guess you would call it. But, you would have that, and then, that's essentially how you would eat it. And so, yeah. And then, comparing it to, like, if you were given this amount, and they said, we will give you more after you used it all up. Essentially, I even made a little chart on the chart. Anyways, for, the average person today, 1 month for slaves would last not even 3 days. It would last 2.6 days, and the reason I say 0.6 is because of the 3 meals, 3 meals, 2.6 days for the average person today, if they were given that much. Anyways, so, day 1 would be breakfast, lunch, dinner. Day 2, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Day 3, you would only be able to go breakfast and lunch. And, or another way you can think of it, if, you had a family of 4 and then you went out with your friends, that's also a family of 4, and you had, if each of you had a pound of pork or fish and had a lot of cornmeal with it, of course, you would use it all up. And so, like, the dressing for it, I guess, I don't know how you would incorporate it all, cornbread or whatever. So anyways, yeah, and then that's the food conditions and the clothing. The clothing conditions for the children were completely different, so I'm just going to be doing adults and then the children conditions first and foremost. So they were given 2 coarse linen shirts, 1 pair of linen trousers, like the shirts, 1 jacket, 1 pair of trousers for winter made of coarse Negro cloth, 1 pair of stockings, and 1 pair of shoes, the whole which could not have cost more than $7, which back then was a lot of money, but still today, that's not a lot of money. But anyways, essentially, like, in comparison to today, like, what that would last for maybe 2 or 3 day weekend getaway. And, that's, like, for, like, a formal event. But, if, like, you converted it to, like, what people would wear today, like a t-shirt, Beatles t-shirt, and, shirts like that, or t-shirts or tourist shirts, like the button-down shirts with the tacky flowers all over them, that would essentially cash out to, be around 2 or 3 days long. So, yeah, and then the children, oh, this is depressing. And if anything was to fail, they had to wait until the next allowance month and our monthly allowance day, and then they'd be able to get new ones. But for kids, they only had, and I quote, "The children unable to work in the fields had neither shoes, stocking, jacket, nor trousers given to them. Their clothing consisted of 2 coarse linen shirts per year. If these failed them, they went until the next allowance day." So basically that means that they would go naked. So basically, 2 shirts. That's enough to sleep in. For 2 nights if you changed your shirt each night, or 2 weeks if you do a different shirt each night. But, yeah. And so today, like, per year, you have at least 5 pairs of shoes. And I have at least 7. Like, we have a lot of shirts. We have an extra room built on for them in each bedroom, a room, and then we have a drawer dedicated to socks. So instead of 1 pair of stockings per year, we have a drawer dedicated to them. And if we lose them, it doesn't matter. We go out to the store and buy more per year. And socks, really, people don't track anymore. But yeah. Anyways, finally, living conditions. Basically, they were given 1 coarse cloth and the cold, hard, damp floor. So, in today's world, that's like maybe what trying to think of a comparison or I was trying to think of one, but I can't think of one even right now. That's really inhumane. I mean, in foreign countries, that's all they got, but here in America, I can't think of any comparisons or anything. Maybe that's more like a spot where you hang out with your friends or whatever, and it's late at night and you just want to hang out and stuff like that. So, and then, today's conditions, you have a room dedicated to yourself. Think about it. You have a pretty big bed, probably like a Tempur-Pedic or something. You have just about everything's in your room, and you are alone in your room. You don't have to share it with 30 other people, and then, instead of 1 coarse linen cloth, for your life, you're given with comfortable sheets, at least 20 of them. Or 10 sets of 20 total. Or 5 sets when you count the pillow cases. But, yeah. So anyways, that is essentially it. Thank you for watching. And we will see you next time here at History Should Not Be a Mystery. Signing off, I am your host, Rainey McGill.